Welcome back to the channel. If you watched my episode 1 breakdown of the beginning after the end season 2, thank you so much, seriously. The response has been incredible, and it shows just how passionate this community is about Arthur's story. Now episode 2 just dropped on April 8th, and this one is genuinely interesting because it does something completely unexpected. Instead of continuing Arthur's journey, episode 2 makes a full perspective switch and puts someone else front and center. We are spending this entire episode with Tessia, and you know what? That is actually a great storytelling decision. Because Tessia's story has been running parallel to Arthur's this whole time, and seeing her world, her struggles, and her growth independently of Arthur adds a whole new dimension to the story. Episode 2, titled The Princess Begins Adventuring. Let's break it all down. I'm going to be real with you again about the production, same as always, because you deserve honesty. But the story? The story has some genuinely great stuff in it this week. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. Super quick recap before we jump in. Episode 1 saw Arthur and his adventurer mentor Jasmine investigate a village near the Beast Glades that had gone completely silent. They arrived to find every single villager crystallized, frozen in transparent crystal by a top 5 beast called an arachne. When the arachne ambushed them mid-retreat and crystallized Jasmine, Arthur had no choice but to fight alone. He combined his sword skills with mana attacks, took the arachne down by slashing off its limbs and head, and freed everyone from the curse. He came back to the guild a hero, but got scolded by Alice for fighting such a dangerous beast alone instead of retreating. Lucas Wykes questioned whether the feat was even real, and Sylvie eating the mana core meant there was no physical proof. The episode ended with Arthur thinking about Tessia, and a quick cut to Tessia herself running frantically from a falling boulder. Episode 2 tells us exactly what was happening on Tessia's side. Before we dive into the episode, quick context on Tessia for anyone who needs it. Tessia Aerolith is the elven princess, the granddaughter of Virion, one of the most important political figures in the continent of Decathin. She and Arthur have been close since childhood. She matters enormously to Arthur emotionally. She's one of the core reasons he keeps pushing forward. But Tessia isn't just a passive figure waiting for Arthur to come find her. She has her own ambitions, her own sense of duty, and her own journey. She has formed her own adventuring party with 2 fellow elves, Feyrith, also called Fey, and Vio. And episode 2 follows the 3 of them on a mission that is about much more than just monster hunting. It's about something bigger, the fragile peace between races in Decathin. The episode opens with Tessia, Fey, and Vio sitting at an inn, and Tessia reveals their next quest. They've been assigned to help a human village that is being terrorized by a powerful mana beast wild boar. Simple enough, right? Except nothing about this mission is simple, because even getting to the village is already complicated. As they travel, the episode unfolds Virion's deeper purpose for this mission through Tessia's narration. See, in Decathin, even though a 3-kingdom treaty officially ended the hostilities between humans, elves, and dwarves, the peace is strictly political. Among ordinary citizens, the prejudice is very much alive. Humans distrust elves. Elves keep to themselves. The wounds of past conflicts haven't healed just because kings signed a piece of paper. Virion, as one of the most experienced political figures in Decathin, understands this. He knows that treaties don't fix hearts. People do. And he's sending Tessia out into human and dwarf territory specifically because he wants her to be a bridge. He wants his granddaughter, the princess of the elves, to go out into the world and demonstrate through action that elves and humans can work together, that they can help each other. That cooperation is possible at the ground level, not just on paper. It's a heavy responsibility to place on a young adventurer's shoulders. But Virion believes in Tessia, and this mission is his way of preparing her for the role she'll one day have to play. But before they even reach the boar, the journey itself is already testing them. First, at the inn where the episode opens, a group of other patrons start trouble with Tessia's party. Just seeing 3 elves at a table is enough to set them off. Tessia deals with them quickly and efficiently, and Faye uses a wall of water spell to cover their escape. It's handled fast, but it immediately establishes the atmosphere. Being an elf in human territory means always being on edge. Then they catch a carriage toward the village. More uncomfortable stares, more tension, and when they finally arrive at the village they've come to help, the villagers turn them away at the door. They don't want elves in their village. Even knowing that elves have come to deal with the mana beast that's been terrorizing them, they would rather take their chances than accept help from people who look different. It's a genuinely affecting moment. Because Tessia isn't doing anything wrong. She's offering help to people who need it. And she's being rejected purely based on what she is. She doesn't blow up. She doesn't argue. She holds herself together and pushes forward anyway. Because she understands that this is exactly the kind of moment Feyrith prepared her for. Changing hearts doesn't happen because you demanded people treat you right. It happens through actions they can't ignore. Two local children eventually appear and quietly lead Tessia's group to where the mana beast boar has been spotted. And when they get there, the boar is already waiting. It is massive, dense with mana, and immediately clear that this is not a standard beast. The three of them open up with magic attacks. Fey leads with offensive spells. Vio deploys defensive and trapping magic. Tessia combines both. But no matter how much they pour into their assault, the boar doesn't go down. Its mana density is so high that magical attacks are barely scratching it. The beast takes everything they throw at it and keeps pushing forward. The fight turns. The boar starts dominating. All three of them are getting knocked around and pushed back. It corners them, and for a moment, it genuinely looks dire. But Tessia refuses to quit. Her teammates are battered. Every spell combination they've tried has failed. And then, in that desperate moment, something clicks. She remembers Arthur. A specific memory of Arthur teaching her how to channel mana into physical strikes. Not through a wand or a spell, but directly through her body. Pure mana-infused physical force. It's a technique that bridges magic and physicality in a way that most mages never even think about, because magic users in Decathlon almost universally rely on wands and casting. The idea of punching something with mana flowing through your fist is practically unheard of. But Arthur taught her. And now, with her magic exhausted and her back against the wall, she puts that lesson into action. Fey lures the boar into charging in a straight line. Vio traps it in a massive crater using earth magic, pinning it in place for just a moment. And Tessia steps forward, channels everything she is into her right fist, and hits the boar with a single mana-infused punch. The boar goes down. One hit. The fight is over. The village is safe. It's a fantastic character moment, because it shows that Arthur's influence on Tessia isn't just emotional. He genuinely made her a better fighter by teaching her to think outside the box of conventional magic. And in the moment she needed it most, that teaching is what saved the day. After the beast is defeated, the village's attitude shifts. They were ready to turn the elves away, and now they're standing in front of the proof that these three elves just protected them when no one else could. The children who led them to the boar are delighted. The adults are quiet and awkward, trying to process having their prejudice confronted by a pure act of service. It's not a grand speech moment. Nobody apologizes dramatically, but you can see the shift. Small and quiet, but real. And that's actually more powerful than a big emotional scene would have been. Feyrith's mission is working, not because Tessia demanded respect, but because she earned it by showing up and helping anyway. Then, the moment every TBATE fan has been waiting for. Tessia decides she wants to try and reconnect with Arthur. She knows he's nearby. She heads toward his home, her heart clearly racing, and she runs directly into Arthur's mother and sister, and immediately panics and runs away. It is genuinely funny. This is an elven princess who just defeated a powerful mana beast with one punch, who has been completing missions across human territory and dealing with racial prejudice with grace and composure, and she turns bright red and sprints in the other direction because she bumped into Arthur's family. It tells you everything about what Arthur means to her emotionally. All her composure goes out the window the moment she gets close to actually seeing him. The episode ends there. Tessia's heart still unsettled, Arthur still unaware she was that close, and the almost reunion hanging in the air, waiting for the next time. Real talk for a second, because I said I'd always be honest with you about this show. Episode 2 has the same animation struggles we saw in Episode 1. The slideshow-style movement continues throughout. And this episode added a new problem. There are scenes where characters are visibly moving their mouths, but producing no sound at all. Complete silence. Distinct audio and lip movement in multiple places. That is a step in the wrong direction, and the community has every right to be frustrated by it. The source material is excellent. The story of this episode genuinely deserved better production, but the story itself is solid. The Tessia focus is a smart narrative decision, and that final punch moment? Conceptually, it's a great payoff. So that is the beginning after the end. Season 2, Episode 2. The princess begins adventuring. Episode 1 was Arthur's story. Episode 2 is Tessia's, and it works really well as a companion piece. We see two very different people going through very different challenges in the same world. Arthur fighting top-tier beasts solo and navigating guild politics. Tessia navigating racial prejudice and completing her grandfather's mission to be a bridge between peoples and connecting them, even when they're apart, is the lesson Arthur taught her that saved the day in the boar fight. Their bond isn't just emotional. It's practical. It's making them both stronger in ways they don't even fully realize yet. The almost reunion ending is genuinely charming. Tessia defeating an unkillable beast and then immediately panicking at the sight of Arthur's family might be the most relatable thing this show has ever done. Season 2 is building its story carefully. Two parallel journeys, slowly converging. And when Arthur and Tessia finally meet properly this season, it's going to land hard. And that is your full breakdown of the beginning after the end. Season 2, Episode 2. The princess begins adventuring. Tessia facing down racial prejudice and pushing through anyway. A boar fight that magic alone couldn't win. Arthur's teaching being the key that unlocked the whole thing. And then, the greatest battle of all. Tessia running away from Arthur's mother and sister at full speed. I love this character so much. Now I want to hear from you in the comments. Are you happy with the shift to Tessia's perspective this episode? And do you think Arthur and Tessia are finally going to properly reunite in Episode 3? Drop your theories below. If this breakdown helped you understand the episode, a like takes 2 seconds and genuinely helps this channel reach more TBATE fans. It means everything. And if you want every episode of Season 2 covered right here, subscribe and hit the bell. We are here every single week. See you next time. Until then, the second life is just getting started.
Yeah.